questions that we wrote out.
Uh-huh.
So we'll ask those first. So the first question that we thought of was, how has child labor awareness increased since Stop Child Labor Now's founding in 1989? So has it increased since or how, like,
Since 1989, since the coalition was founded. Well, I've only been the coordinator of the coalition for 3.5 years, so it'd be a little hard for me to assess where we were at the beginning of that 20-year period, although I was a member of the coalition for a long time. And I would say that there is a lot of interest in child labor now. I'm on Twitter tweeting about child labor issues, and there is a tremendous amount of interest. It's hard to compare whether 20 years ago, because there weren't as many tools to assess how concerned the public was about it. So I would think that it's heightening. This has been an interesting year because presidential candidates have talked about child labor more than normal, and so there's been more attention given to it this year.
Yeah, I saw the comment from the Republican presidential candidate Newt Gingrich on his child labor stance, and was that put on your website too as the top 10?
Yeah, it was one of the top 10 stories. Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, we think it's kind of an absurd idea that kids your age should be asked to clean bathrooms in schools, and that what it would mean is adults would be fired and kids would be hired. If there's a choice between a child having a job and an adult having a job, it seems like a pretty easy choice to make.
Our next question was, how does child labor in America compare to child labor in foreign countries? Is it more or less of a problem here?
It's less of a problem here. There are many countries where it's an extreme problem. Many African countries have major child labor issues, and a lot of the South Asian countries, India, millions. We're talking about millions of children working in India, and here in the U.S. the numbers are not so great, and the conditions tend to be not so bad. In South Asia, you'll see children who are making bricks, and they will be working in the hot sun all day, carrying bricks in their head. And we see kids making charcoal and really doing very dangerous things. In Africa, we see a lot of kids with machetes, clearing pastures with machetes. So we see a lot of horrendous conditions overseas. Here in the U.S., the numbers aren't as great, and the conditions tend not to be so bad, except the one exception in the U.S. is agriculture, where there are large numbers of kids who work. And the conditions can be somewhat similar to the conditions in foreign countries. Kids, the law allows kids to start working at the age of 12, and they can work a full day. They work like a 12-hour day, 14-hour day. It can be 100 degrees out, and they're paid under a system called the piece rate, which means that the more they pick, the more they earn. So they're encouraged to work at an inhuman pace. And so that's the one area where we kind of match some of these other countries. We're kind of close to match.
What areas of the country is that kind of labor found?
Well, I've done 3 field investigations myself. One of them was in Texas, and one was in Colorado, and one was in Washington State. And we found fairly young kids working in all 3 of those states. It's pretty widespread. The numbers, I suspect the numbers are the biggest in Texas and perhaps Washington State. Some states have better laws, like California has a better law, and Washington State has a law. We still find kids who are working outside the law.
Which companies are currently using child labor to produce their goods?
Now we get that question a lot, and it's actually one of the hardest ones to answer. And one answer might be almost all of them, because there's rampant child labor in China. We don't really know how much because it's such a closed. We don't know how much for sure, but it's kind of a closed society. And people do inspections of factories, but the plant owners are often warned ahead of time. And so if there are kids working, they're often told to go home or stay away. And given that most of the products in the U.S. come from China and other South Asian countries, there's an increasing chance that there's child labor in most of the companies that we deal with. Now, only a few of those every once in a while, the news will hit one of these companies. Like I don't know if you've been following it, but Apple has had a lot of child labor allegations, and they acknowledged in an extra report. They did a report. They surveyed their own supply chain, and they found about 100 kids working. Maybe just the tip of the iceberg.
Could you name any stores that were accused of child labor and did not respond in a way that showed that they were trying to fix it, or do most of them usually respond in like a positive way?
Well, yeah, most of them do. Most of them have professionals on their staff. The bigger companies have professionals on their staff that are hired to deal with these issues. So they formulate some kind of response, and it's very hard to tell for us in the advocacy community. It's very hard for us to tell how sincere the response is. Are they just responding to get out off the front page of the news, or are they sincerely interested in reducing child labor? I'll give you an example. Hershey's for a long time resisted calls from the advocacy community to deal with child labor in West Africa, where young children help their parents pick cocoa beans that eventually become chocolate. And for the longest time, Hershey was one of the chocolate companies that just refused to do anything about it. They said they had their kind of internal processes, and they were looking at it. But recently,